my channel. I hope everybody has been amazing. You guys have been enjoying my content thus far. But like I told you guys, it was gonna be a little mom personal life and also about my work life. So this video is dedicated to work. As I've already said before, kind of in my intro video, if you did not watch that, I am a newly found real estate agent here in SoCal. I'm licensed in California only, and then my market is Southern California as of now. I have not branched out just yet, but it's been like really fun thus far. As you know, I just recently had a baby, so I've also been dealing with that and trying to balance the newness of my newfound career. So it's kind of been but you know, it's all good. God changes plans, so you know, I reworked the plan and I've just been trying to stay as active as possible. I've just kind of been doing seminars. My brokerage is here in the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles. So I'm brokered with Keller Williams, Encino, Sherman Oaks. So yeah, I've been with them. It'll almost be a year in November. So I've been with them for maybe 8 or 9 months. So it's been really good. They've been extremely helpful. They have classes. So I've been able, I'm holding the baby. I just don't want her on camera, but she's just sitting here chilling, so don't mind her. If you'll hear a little cooing, but she's on her way to nap time. But anyway, so yes, I've been brokered with them for almost 8 to 9 months, like I said, and they've been super amazing. Like I was saying, they've had classes, they have been mentoring me. It's just been really amazing. I've met some amazing people, and even though it's been the pandemic and we've been doing everything on Zoom, I feel like everybody, once you see somebody on Zoom for 5 times, you're like, oh yeah, I know you. But yes, I've been with them, so yeah, I'm just excited to continue on this journey. But I'm making this video because I get asked all the time, you're 30, well, I'm 31, but why'd you choose real estate all of a sudden? Why'd you all of a sudden make this change? So I'm here to answer the question, why real estate? Why was it the field for me? Why did I choose it? So basically, just to give you a little background story, I originally did not choose real estate in order to be in real estate sales. Originally, I went with real estate because I wanted to be a property manager because I was looking for free housing. Not even free housing, I was looking for discounted housing because, you know, in LA, it's just I was just trying to find an in and out. But you know, in order to be a property manager at the bigger buildings, you do have to be licensed. I think if the building has over I want to say 16 units. This was in my real estate exam. I think if the building has over 16 units, then you have to be licensed for anything 16 and above. And everybody knows, as big and small as LA is, every building is pretty much 16 units and up. It's rare that you'll find a building with maybe 4 or 10 units. So you do have to be licensed in order to be a property management. So that's where I initially started, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get my license, and then by the time my lease is up wherever we were living at the time, I was like, you know, I'll be able to, you know, find a job and we'll get some discounted living situation or whatever. But I you know, once you start something, it kind of just turns into not even a sinkhole, just tunnel vision, and you end up going a totally different direction. But it's still within the same field. It was just I ended up, instead of making that left, I made a right. So yeah, I started out getting my license, and then I was you know, I was just really determined at the time. to just find a real estate job. I was so determined, like, I have to find a real estate job. Like, there's no way, like, until I'm licensed for property management, like, I have to get my feet wet. I have to figure out something. So at the time, it was like, I started this journey early 2019, but I was still working another job with a friend, helping them out with their business. So I wasn't like fully focused on myself. But as the year started to end of 2019, I kind of was like, okay, you know, like, you're a mom, like, you need to get focused, like, you need to take back your I needed to reclaim my time. And yeah, so at the beginning of 2020, I was like, you know, I had already started going through my real estate courses, but, you know, just time and doing school at home, it was just like, it seemed like it was taking me forever. So I finally have found a real estate job at Rodeo Realty as a office assistant. And I was like, okay, like, or it was a receptionist rather. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, it's nothing major, but, you know, I'm in the environment, so like, that'll help me keep up the momentum, and like, you know, I'll learn some ins and outs in the industry. And also the owner of Rodeo Realty, he's like the #1 broker in LA. So I was like, you know, it was just really good to have that on my back. Like, I can take that with me wherever I go. But I only ended up doing the receptionist job for like a month maybe. And then they transferred me over to escrow. Now, escrow is where it got real. And I was like, in escrow, I truly can say I found myself. I found my calling. Once I got to escrow, like, it's like the dirty side of real estate. Like, everybody thinks it's just like on the agent side, like, it's just, oh, you find a house and voila, you move in. No, there's like, in escrow is where it gets dirty. Escrow is like the intensity of the transaction. It's where all the paperwork happens. It's where all the feuds happen. It's where all the fights happen. I mean, it's obviously, when it comes to money and that large amounts of money, especially with buying a house, it's gonna be, you know, some intensity. So once I got into escrow and I started experiencing some of the situations, for one, some of the nastiest customer, like, it was just like people that were buying the home, like, some people are just like so rude. The agents, some of the, like, I'm like, how did you even get your license? How are you an agent? Aren't you supposed to know all this information? And, you know, as an escrow officer or escrow assistant, anybody in escrow, they're the third party. So I can't give out any advice. You can't, like, I can't tell you anything. So literally zip, zero, zilch, like, no. Some of the buyers were like so arrogant, like they thought they had it all together, and it was just not that. Like, the transaction turned out to be not what they thought it was gonna be. So I can definitely say, after being in escrow, and I worked in escrow for 1 full year. 2020, I was in escrow even through the pandemic, because that was an essential job. Living situations are essential jobs. So I worked through the entire pandemic, changed offices and everything. So I went from like one type of clientele to like another type of clientele, and it was just insane. I definitely found my calling, because after being in escrow for a year, it drove me to hurry up. Once the pandemic hit and I was like, I couldn't go out anywhere and my daughter wasn't in school, I grinded. Like, I literally grinded every night I came home from work. I grinded to hurry up and finish my real estate courses so I could hurry up and get licensed. Then it comes to the point where I'm done with the classes, but I can't take the actual exam because of COVID. They went from like large testing sites to like very small testing sites. So I actually ended up, I didn't even take my real estate exam in LA. I drove to San Diego. Like, that's how determined I was. I drove to San Diego to get licensed. And once I got my license, I passed, of course, on the first time. Like, I was not playing. Especially, I was like, I'm driving to San Diego. There's no time for any games. So I literally like grinded, got licensed. Once I got licensed, I was like, okay, it's gung-ho time. Because after seeing all of those escrow situations, and I've always been about customer service. Like, I used to be in the fashion industry. I was like a merchandiser, but I was like one of those merchandisers that was really hands-on. Like, I was like on the floor because I was like a team lead at the same time. So I've always been super on the consumer side, like just trying to, trying to understand, trying to comfort them, like, trying to help everybody. And that's just my nature. Obviously, that's why I have 2 kids, because I love helping people. But yes, I've just always been super on the customer service side, like, especially because I've had some really bad customer service experiences, and I'm just like, sometimes I'm just like, where do you people come from? But yes, after going through some of those escrow experiences, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, some of these buyers are literally out here. They haven't heard from their agents in weeks. They don't know what's going on. Some of the sellers, like, we needed them to fill out paperwork. They haven't heard from their agent in weeks. And I mean, I understand, like, as an agent, you probably take on like 5. I know some agents that are doing like 5 to 10 deals at one time. And that's okay, but you have to be there for everybody. And that's what a lot of people were not understanding. And I was just seeing like a lot of people were falling short, and it was just like, it was so irritating. And I like got to the point where I felt sorry for people. So after that, I was like, okay, this is just another determination that I just need to be in real estate sales, because like, there is a need for people like that genuinely care, that can walk you through the process, that don't just leave you hanging, that won't just like have you out here to struggle. And you're farting on my leg, seriously? Okay, whatever. You're literally farting on my leg. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna change a diaper. Alrighty, so we're back. Everybody meet Jenny. So yeah, like I was saying, I just saw like there was a dire need for agents that like just cared about people, that there's a lot of great agents, and then there's a lot of bad agents. I will definitely say that. The $1 million agents, they have a team that trickles down, so they have go-to people. But there's a lot of up and coming agents that are still figuring out the business, and like, some of them didn't know what to do. Like, some of them didn't know like how to find certain paperwork, or like, we would call some people and people had no clue what we were talking about. So it was just one of those where, where you see a need, you go. So, and literally I named my business after that, Homes Sold with TLC. Tender Love and Care, because literally that is how I was feeling, and I still see it. So like, being on the escrow side, I'm able to take the person not just from finding the home or just from selling the home. I know the documents that are needed. I'm able to take you from point A to point E all the way through the transaction. And that's just where I felt I could stand out, because like I said at the beginning, it's not just finding the house or just selling the house. It's literally paperwork and everything that goes into this, transferring of documents, even title, like even when you're selling your home, how far back does it go? Did the residents before you bought that home, did they pay their taxes? Are there any, like, you know, are we crossing lines on, people's property as far as lot sizes? I know some of this is probably like to your average person, like, what the hell are you talking about? But if you're an agent or if you sell a home, like, there are so many points that you can run into, like, that'll literally stop the whole transaction. Just like I knew this one, lady that was selling her home, and she ended up not being able to sell the home. She literally put her home on the market like 3 times. And literally it was because she had turned her garage into a like mini apartment. And like, if you don't have licenses and permits and stuff for those things, you cannot do it. So she was not allowed to sell her home. She had a lien against her home, and she was not allowed to sell her home until she turned her apartment back into a garage. So literally there's like, you have to make sure things are up to code, your permits, your licenses. And some of these agents just did not know what was going on. They had literally no clue to contact. And like things like this, you should be checking before you even put the home on the market, because especially in the market like this right now, I'll do a market update video later. But especially in a market like this, there's so many people trying to buy homes right now, and there's a lot of people trying to sell their homes right now, and you're holding this person back because of something that should have been taken care of before you guys even started the transaction. So some people don't, want to wait around for 3 to 6 months for a transaction to go through, because there are a lot of people that are renting. So it's like, now if somebody's planning to move out of their home, like of a place that they've been leasing, it's like, now you're making me dip back into my home buying pot in order to pay for these months. Like, now I have to finish paying off my lease, or I have to do month to month, or whatever the situation may be. But people don't think like it affects everybody. Like, it affects everybody. Like, some of the things that you think are so small, it'll literally mess up the whole transaction. You leave the buyer screwed, or you leave the seller screwed. And it's just like, I felt like a lot of agents weren't meeting their people halfway. And so I was just like, the industry needs me. I felt like, like Jay-Z or Kanye, like the industry needs somebody like me. I could bring what I need to bring. But so that's always been my advantage. Like, so as of lately, that's my number one selling point. When I'm meeting with buyers or I'm meeting with sellers, like, hey, I can get you through the entire process. Like, I'm not leaving you hanging. I'm always answering my phone. Nobody will be chasing me down. Like, I'm literally here for you and with you. Welcome to Jocelyn's Cabaret. No, I'm just kidding. But still, it's like, I felt like there was just a need for people. Like, everybody gets so caught up in their lives that it's just like everybody's so quick to get the check. But it's like, if you're interfering, it will affect the check, and then like you won't get paid because the transaction won't go through. So it's just like, it was crazy. So that is the main reason why I chose real estate. Like, and it kind of just like, I was going on a different path, and like the path chose me that I ended up on. So I'm forever grateful. I'm literally coming up on my year anniversary of being licensed officially. So, and it's just been an up and down roller coaster. But they say it takes 3 years for your business to be solid and established. So I'm excited for the journey. I'm here for the ride. I didn't think I was doing it too late or too early. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to explain that to everybody. And like I said, you know, I'm here for all your buying and selling needs. You know, no man left behind. So yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to see where this takes me. And, you know, I'm down for the ride. I'm down for the journey. And I'll be here for a while. But like I said, you know, this is going to be my safe space for work. So I will be doing like mom videos, but I also will be doing like a lot of tips and tricks and home buying things. So, you know, stay tuned. I'm going to get back to mom duties right now because somebody's ready for a nap. Bye.